Have you ever wondered about the origins of Valentine's Day? An intriguing question, isn't it? This day of love and affection, celebrated with fervor and warmth, has a history as fascinating as the sentiments it represents. Its roots are entwined in both ancient Roman and Christian traditions, forming a rich tapestry of legends and lore. Let's start with the Romans. Picture a mid-February festival filled with anticipation for the coming spring. This was Lupercalia, a celebration dedicated to fertility. Young men would draw the names of young women from a box, pairing them together for the entirety of the festival, often resulting in marriages. Could this be the original matchmaking lottery that inspired our modern Valentine's Day? But wait, there's another theory. This one is steeped in the hallowed halls of Christianity and revolves around a saint named Valentine. Now, there were several martyrs named Valentine, and it's a bit of a mystery as to which one the day is named after. But the most popular story involves a Roman priest who lived during the rule of Emperor Claudius II. Legend has it that this Saint Valentine defied the emperor's decree banning marriages for young men, secretly performing wedding ceremonies for young lovers. His defiance, however, led to his arrest, imprisonment, and execution on February 14th, around the year 269 AD. And then there's the literary angle. The medieval English poet Geoffrey Chaucer is often credited with associating Valentine's Day with romantic love. In his poem Parliament of Fool, he links the day with the mating season of birds, adding a poetic twist to the tale. So you see, the origins of Valentine's Day are shrouded in a mix of ancient rituals, saintly defiance, and poetic license. Each theory adds a layer of intrigue to this day of love, making it all the more special. So let's delve into the heart of these mysteries and uncover the fascinating history of Valentine's Day. One theory suggests that Valentine's Day has its roots in the Roman festival of Lupercalia. A celebration that harks back to the ancient world, Lupercalia was a vibrant festival that occurred yearly in the heart of February, marking the advent of spring. This festival was a tribute to fertility, a nod to the rebirth and renewal that spring brings with it. Imagine a bustling crowd gathered in the heart of Rome. The city is alive with anticipation and excitement. The festival of Lupercalia is about to commence. The main event? A unique tradition where young men would draw the names of women from a box. It was a practice shrouded in mystery, anticipation, and no small amount of excitement. For once a name was drawn, the young man and woman would be paired together for the duration of the festival. These pairings were not a mere game or a fleeting amusement. Far from it, they often led to marriages. The festival thus served as a platform for young men and women to meet, mingle, and perhaps find their future spouse. Lupercalia was not just a festival of fertility in the literal sense, but also a celebration of the fertility of love and companionship. The festival was a significant event in the Roman calendar, a time of joyous celebration and hopeful beginnings. It was a time when love was not just in the air, but was an integral part of the festivities, intertwined with the very fabric of the festival. It's fascinating to think how this ancient festival, rooted in the celebration of fertility and love, might have evolved over time. How the customs and traditions of Lupercalia could have seeped into the fabric of later cultures, and perhaps given birth to the concept of a day dedicated to love and affection. Could this ancient festival of love and fertility be the predecessor of our modern Valentine's Day? The connections are intriguing, aren't they? But as with many aspects of history, the truth often lies shrouded in the mists of time. What remains, however, is a fascinating tale of a time when love was celebrated with a fervor that rivals, if not surpasses, our modern celebrations of love. The most widely accepted origin of Valentine's Day is associated with a Christian saint named Valentine. There are several martyrs named Valentine, and the day's namesake remains a point of discussion. However, the most popular tale traces back to a Roman priest named Valentine, who lived during the reign of Emperor Claudius II. Emperor Claudius II, known as Claudius the Cruel, was having difficulty recruiting soldiers for his military leagues. He believed that Roman men were unwilling to leave their loves or families, and thus he decided to cancel all marriages and engagements in Rome. The ban on marriage was a shock, and young couples who were in love and wished to commit themselves to the sacred bond of marriage were left in despair. Enter our hero, Saint Valentine. He was a holy priest in Rome who saw the trauma of young lovers. decided to defy the unjust laws of the Claudius and took upon himself the task of secretly performing marriage ceremonies. He put his life at risk to ensure that young couples could knot their lives together in matrimony. But as the whispers of these secret weddings spread, the news eventually reached Claudius. The emperor ordered the arrest of Valentine, and he was thrown into prison for his defiance. Even in the face of death, Valentine stood by his belief in love and commitment. While in prison, Valentine's kindness had left a mark on Asterius, the jailer, who allowed his blind daughter to visit him. It's told that Valentine cured her blindness, and the two developed a deep affection for each other. On the day of his execution, which was February 14th, around the year 269 AD, he left her a note signed, "From your Valentine," a phrase that's immortal today. Valentine was executed for his belief in the sanctity of love and marriage, and his memory was honored by the church who canonized him. Ever since, February 14th has been celebrated as Saint Valentine's Day. His act of defiance and love has been immortalized, forever linking Saint Valentine to the Day of Love. The medieval English poet Geoffrey Chaucer played a pivotal role in associating Valentine's Day with romantic love. A renowned figure in the annals of English literature, Chaucer was instrumental in establishing a connection between the day and romantic love through his poetic prowess. In the 14th century, Chaucer penned a poem titled Parliament of Fowls. In this work, he links Valentine's Day with the mating season of birds. Chaucer writes, "For this was on St. Valentine's Day, when every bird comes there to choose his mate." By making this connection, Chaucer gave Valentine's Day a distinct flavor of romance that was earlier absent in the day's celebration. It's worth noting that Chaucer's choice to infuse romantic love into Valentine's Day was more than a simple poetic fancy. It was a reflection of the societal transformation of the time. The medieval era was a period when notions of courtly love were gaining ground. Love was increasingly seen not just as a marital duty, but as an emotion to be celebrated and cherished. Chaucer's works, including Parliament of Fowls, were a mirror to this societal shift. Chaucer's influence didn't stop at simply linking Valentine's Day with romance. His works also helped shape the tradition of expressing love through poetry and letters. The gentle birds in Parliament of Fowls, choosing their mates and singing love songs to them, echo the sentiments of lovers penning heartfelt verses to their beloved on Valentine's Day. In many ways, Chaucer's Parliament of Fowls set the stage for the evolution of Valentine's Day into a day of expressing romantic love. It's almost as if every love letter written, every romantic verse recited, and every heartfelt confession made on Valentine's Day owes a bit to Chaucer's poetic vision. So, as we celebrate Valentine's Day today, let us remember the contribution of Geoffrey Chaucer. It was his pen that first painted Valentine's Day in the hues of love and romance. And thus, through the power of poetry, Valentine's Day became a day of romance. Over the centuries, Valentine's Day evolved into a day for expressing romantic love. This transformation didn't happen overnight, but rather, it was a gradual process that was influenced by societal changes and cultural shifts. In the early days, Valentine's Day was largely a religious observance, commemorating the martyrdom of Saint Valentine. But with time, the day began to lose its religious connotations and started to take on a more secular and romantic character. By the 18th century, Valentine's Day had become a day to express one's affection for another. This was a time when romantic love was highly celebrated, particularly in Western societies. The concept of courtly love was prevalent, and romantic gestures were seen as a way to win the heart of one's beloved. During this period, people began to exchange tokens of affection on Valentine's Day. These tokens took various forms, but handwritten notes were particularly popular. These notes, often referred to as Valentines, were filled with romantic verses, declarations of love, and promises of devotion. They were typically exchanged between lovers, but they could also be given to friends or family members as a sign of affection. In addition to these love notes, small gifts were also exchanged. These could be anything from flowers to confectionaries, and they were seen as a physical representation of one's affection. The giving of these gifts was not just a way to express love, but also a way to showcase one's creativity and thoughtfulness. However, it wasn't just the exchange of notes and gifts that marked Valentine's Day as a day of romance. The day itself became associated with love and affection. The image of the heart, for instance, became a common symbol for Valentine's Day, representing love and passion. As the centuries rolled on, Valentine's Day became firmly entrenched as a day to celebrate love and affection. It was a day to express one's feelings, to show appreciation, and to make grand gestures of love. The tradition of expressing love on Valentine's Day was firmly established, but it was about to undergo another transformation. In the 19th century, the exchange of mass-produced Valentine's Day cards became popular, and the day started to be commercialized. The magic of love, once celebrated with handwritten notes and simple tokens of affection, was slowly replaced by the convenience and mass appeal of printed Valentine's cards. These cards, often adorned with lace, ribbons, and sentimental verses, quickly became the order of the day, transforming Valentine's Day into a booming commercial event. As the Industrial Revolution took hold, the mass production of these Valentine's Day cards became easier and more affordable. This shift was not just about economics, but also about accessibility. Now anyone could express their feelings of love and affection without the need for eloquent words or expensive gifts. A simple card could do the trick. But the commercialization of Valentine's Day didn't stop at cards. As we moved into the 20th century, a variety of industries saw the potential in this day of love. Florists, confectioners, jewelers, and even the hospitality sector began to promote their goods and services as perfect for Valentine's Day. The giving of flowers, particularly roses and chocolates, became synonymous with the day, and romantic dinners or getaways became a popular way to celebrate. Fast forward to the present day, and Valentine's Day has become a global phenomenon. It's not just cards, flowers, and chocolates anymore. From plush toys to extravagant trips, from personalized gifts to unique experiences, the scope of Valentine's Day gifts has expanded tremendously. The day has been embraced by cultures around the world, each adding their own unique traditions and customs to the celebration. Yet, amid all this commercialization, the essence of Valentine's Day remains the same. It's a day to express love and affection, to appreciate the ones who matter the most to us. Whether it's a simple card, a beautiful bouquet, a box of chocolates, or a thoughtful gift, the intention behind it is what truly counts. It's about making our loved ones feel special, cherished, and valued. In today's digital age, even the way we celebrate Valentine's Day has changed. Online shopping, e-cards, and virtual celebrations have become increasingly popular, especially in recent years. Technology has made it possible to celebrate love beyond geographical boundaries and physical presence, adding another layer to the commercial aspect of the day. Despite its commercial nature, Valentine's Day holds a special place in our hearts. It's a day that reminds us of the importance of love in our lives. It's a day that encourages us to express our feelings, to make grand gestures, to go the extra mile for the ones we love. So, while it's true that Valentine's Day has become a commercial event, it's also a celebration of love in all its forms. It's a day that brings people together, that sparks joy and happiness, that creates memories to last a lifetime. Valentine's Day, a day that started with ancient festivals and secret marriages, has become a significant cultural and commercial celebration of love and affection. The history of Valentine's Day is as fascinating as it is diverse. With a narrative that takes us back to the time of ancient Rome, it's a tale that intertwines with the threads of both pagan and Christian traditions. This remarkable journey begins with the Roman festival of Lupercalia, a mid-February event dedicated to fertility and the advent of spring. Young men would draw the names of young women from a box, forming pairs for the festival's duration, often leading to marriages. But Valentine's Day doesn't just owe its roots to the Romans. Christianity also played a pivotal role, with several martyrs named Valentine potentially lending their name to the occasion. One tale that stands out is about a defiant Roman priest, Saint Valentine, who under the rule of Emperor Claudius II, secretly performed marriages for young lovers, contradicting the emperor's ban. His actions, though noble, led to his tragic execution on February 14th, around the year 269. Literature, too, had a hand in shaping this day of love. Geoffrey Chaucer, the renowned medieval English poet, is credited for linking Valentine's Day with romantic love. In his poem, Parliament of Fools, he cleverly associated the day with the mating season of birds. Over time, the day evolved into a celebration of romantic love. By the 18th century, it was common to exchange tokens of affection, like handwritten notes or small gifts. The 19th century saw the rise of mass-produced Valentine's Day cards, marking the beginning of the commercialization of this celebration. Today, Valentine's Day is a global phenomenon, celebrated with exchanges of cards, flowers, chocolates, and other expressions of love and affection. While the precise origins of Valentine's Day remain somewhat mysterious, the day has become a significant cultural and commercial celebration of love and affection, celebrated all around the world.